President Mama, I am beginning to feel say as you say can come in industries and na yadia uguno. Now, we focus. As I quite say, Yama dollar platform so that amount for anybody is not true.
Eya semu ade shimayamba eye akwesi odai Odike wakasa na wa schooling His Excellency John Dramani Mahama any NDC for enye asem keswa o chese omo second come ya omo ba ye chese ombe collapse nioma ena dollar na omo say omo ma eye dollar akofom na chese Ghana for any agent wase omoboa no kwesem bi eni because dollar e call from na any omoboa de ensin fa so be ena woso chese Odike chese ono oye businessman na chese was schooling NDC for left right center ebusia men say wo mren say wada kame ho na emomram ne enkotie Odike ankasa anu di nsema odi tujani bi embra ye ba de aka etwe na ya to aso ede amam
akwasi adai Odike chese oye businessman ampa my no at the NDC for Eko Sukubu ha. Na video we no share last part no. Adia China for Ewo Krum ha and Kani Kumase ha ebe je winsem
5 minutes China 5 minutes otimi empabwa factory ba ko within 5 minutes omutimi complete shoes mako 50,000 5 minutes
yes
production line o ma set no more of automation. It do not say nam so sa. Na say wo say there is akofo be ko odwadi mu a. President Mama, I am beginning to feel say as you say can come in industries and na yadia ugu no. Now, we focus. As I say, Yama dollar platform so that amount for anybody is not true. Eh? Or maybe our person we effective production. No? Any class of currency we edu. China a typical example. Omo muskamu ye ha, but consistency a jina fakon. For be of 10 years, 5 years, China not rate no the jana. Ghanaian businesses needs a stagnant your friend saying
or stabilized
forest. And your fluctuation you're a man and more businesses are suffering under this system. You're a mama saying go for more advice on what China now could pay Bibia Bregan of war. I
was so reverse agreement.
Yeah, I was saying you impose more tariffs to protect local industries.
Okay.
Now say we go jemu ko be plateau already and engines can't afford the engines babu so kind. So the corporate we must be corporate oh abasi form ama bodwa
social media crowd omo ton omo ankasa ne ma no ho retail na fedu omo si form ankasa
me sitie me call papu bi Kumasi popular for plus 2 me call na channel ni get okuta nema ya packaging hi come because ya why kebab no so they did do wo mu bi esincha wo mo toton wo mo busy na me say how much no yi wo dey gubo disposable bowl mu was a 70 series for curiosity them trianaka China ni business pop elton kebab yes. Wabra retail is strictly for indigenous Ghanaians. But mama, what's up with now? Say we launch a free zone in a Gomoa. And on another breath, only now we are so a big free zone way. What's that here? Any now training na begu because what my channel for can say. Omunyama no prepare you omo air to pity we aseno. Omo fa megu Ghana. Enti onwene hu biem. Na say or negotiation, uncle win-win, not lose-win.
Let me talk about this subject of leadership. I want to be very straightforward with you that you can see, say, Obiti say Patrick Boama, NDC4B, Martin Kwebumo can say, he would have been a better leader for the MPP at this time and all those things. And I get those conversations. I mean, he's a gentleman. He exudes a very good leadership personality and all that. But let me tell you, even for the fact that people who are very sympathetic towards the NDC feel that they are getting some opposition from the MPP, and also tell you, say, something is being done right. Even for the fact that NDC for a more dominant number, 187, will still feel, say, they can have their member come and sit before a panel of few MPP members and still feel shaky and still feel they can't just have things as they want. It's an indication, say, there is a lot, right? So he's personally become a pain for them. And I don't think that, given the numbers, 186, 87 against 187 or something, the MPP could have played with anybody. A lot of people talk about the fact that, Afenyo is dramatic. We needed that. We need it at this time. And if you understand leadership, you know that leadership emerged out of the situation. Out of the MPP's current situation, you need somebody who will always be in their faces, who will always let the majority feel that even though they can have their way, there is still a voice that they need to listen to. And I think if somebody has actually done that work effectively, then you can't take that from Afenyo. What did I say? So I respect everybody. Another very good gentleman. Yesterday I applauded him for his rather eloquent speech that he made. And all other MPs, you see the quality of MPP assembled. But at this time, I don't think there could be a better leader to lead the MPP than Afenyo. Because you need to be dramatic. Because these people came with setting. You need somebody who would not get tired of saying something. All right? You need, for somebody like me, when I pick on a subject, I talk about it 1, 2, 3 times, I feel I've exhausted it. But you need somebody who will never get enough of something to the extent that his purpose has not been achieved. That is the kind of leadership MPP need. And the first thing is that the fact that NDC4 and all the people who come to parliament, look at the ministerial appointment committee and all that, still feel that even though the MPP do not have the numbers, but they've not been caved in, they've not been suppressed, their voice is being heard. In fact, they are the most quoted. Go and check. Yeah, they go and check. And yesterday they took the shine out of the whole event by just walking out. That is the conversation people are having, not the very things that the CJ said. I've not even seen, aside some of the few controversial things he said about jailing Atayi for 70 years. Of course, we're going to talk about that. But beyond that, it's been the minority. That is the kind of leadership. If you don't have your way, you don't have your say, then there is no political representation. And I think that gradually, DC is bringing the kind of politics they do internally into the national landscape. Internally, they find it difficult to allow for divergence. Intuition President Mahama, it was obvious that after Melsi is coming, they have that kind of political tradition where they say, okay, this is the arrow figure, this is the arrowhead. Everybody is down to him. No matter your qualification, no matter your expertise, you have to bow to that person. So Rawlings had that figure. Atamels during his time got that figure. No potent opposition against that figurehead. And then Mahama from 2012 up to this time. You see, their biggest challenge is their ability to transition from the Mahama phase. What I say? Now, their tradition, what it helps them, the decisions are speedy. They are more loyal because they have a way of keeping everybody in line. But what that political tradition fails to acknowledge is that there is always beauty, there is always greatness in diversity. Always beauty. I have this mind, I have this mind. When you bring all together, it makes it better. That's why they don't do better when they are in government. But to be very honest, they have the political tradition of one, this is the arrowhead. So they are always opposed to dissent. Go and look at the cyber security Act, whatever, and the Misinformation, Disinformation Act. It's obvious that they are trying to translate what they do internally to the national landscape once that they have the number. And that's why civil society will not agree. Nobody is going to agree to that until the changes that they've required is actually imputed into those laws. And I'm saying, sir, MPP should thank God you had a leader like Afenyo Martin at this time. Leaders emerge out of a situation, out of a context, out of what is happening. Leaders emerge. There could be other brilliant people. There are other brilliant people, very eloquent and intelligent in parliament. But this time, whatever is happening in the MPP, whatever is happening in parliament, the fact that people are even talking about it, the fact that Afenyo is standing out and the minority side is being represented, and then they are making the headlines, it means that they are doing something right. Because from all the indication, Mahama he wants to suppress the minority having their way and having their say. How can you say somebody making a preliminary comment before a new Chief Justice is sworn in, that person cannot raise reservation about the processes leading to the Chief Justice coming on? If those things hadn't happened now, why would we even need to do a vetting? So as a preliminary comment, he doesn't have the right to say it. And if he's saying it, you want to determine the words, his choice of words, his diction. What kind of tyrannical thinking is this? Once politics were internal, and then in America, and no person would run national escape. And you need a leader who can stand up to that, who can expose that, who will not get tired of saying one thing. And I think Afenyo is one. He's not ever tired of repeating the fact that the change of government, of the judiciary head, Otokuno to this man, is a travesty of justice. And he cannot get that enough. He said that in several interviews, done press conferences, and he thought that this opportunity of having, in fact, members of the panel that were part of the committee that took the woman out, there couldn't have been a better platform for him to tell them in their face, look them in the face, and tell them that you have done an injustice in his view. And you have to respect the fact that we have Afenyo now. Let's support him. It is his time. Let's allow him. Once it is supporting the party, once it is energizing the base and giving all of us content to speak about, giving us all the courage, let us support him. Leadership emerge. Leadership is situational. Leadership is contextual. Leadership is not a model. It is not cast in stone. It is not cast in molds.